Hello, and welcome to the third episode of the Kamen Rider Spirit Podcast. I'm Zach,
And this is Tay.
and today we're going to be talking about the 19th episode of Kamen Rider Wizard. In this episode, after, Nitou was still kind of in the middle of not knowing what was going on at all, he decided to kidnap the gate and take him to a park to give him some food. To try and get him to open up and get the Phantom out of him. He's not all that bright. In the end, they pretty much had to bust into the Gates house to try and protect him better than Nitou could. Haruto had to explain exactly what happens when a Phantom comes out of a human, and Nitou wasn't all that pleased anymore. It ends with a large fight, with Beast and Wizard working together, and an end that we'll get to when we talk about it. But yes, this episode was pretty chock full of a lot of character moments that were really interesting to me, I think. What did you think of the episode?
I liked it a lot. I showed pretty much more of how stupid Nitou was, but, he's not a bad guy, though. He just doesn't understand, and then when he does, he gets it.
Pretty much. So, one of the big things about the episode, of course, is that, it was shown that Nitou needed to really be told exactly what was going on with, everything regarding what a wizard is supposed to do. And, Haruto pretty much gave it to him as straight as he possibly could. If the gate dies, then the Phantom comes out, and the Phantom won't come out unless the gate dies. Nitou was pretty put off by the whole thing, but he was still pretty, centered on himself, which is not actually that surprising. He has to have the Phantoms to survive in the first place, but he also is kind of stuck between knowing that it'll take this guy's life and that he has to eat to survive to the next day.
I thought it was interesting because honestly, I didn't think, I know he thinks of himself, but I think he also cared about the guy too, because he talked to him and learned stuff about him, so and he didn't know that when a Phantom comes out, he's gonna die. He thought Phantom's gonna come out and that guy's gonna be fine or whatever, but that's not the case. And I think it was interesting because this episode made him realize he has some internal conflict, okay, well, I need to eat to survive, but if this guy turns into a Phantom, then he's dead, and I don't want that to happen. I don't think I can live with that. He didn't say in those deep terms, but he said it in a Nitou kind of way that, that's not good if I let this guy die,
Pretty much. I feel like that was a good part of it, but it was also he realized that to survive as a wizard, this is the kind of thing that would have to happen around him constantly, which seemed like a big kind of character moment for him, because he, I feel like he grew a lot by knowing that, all the Phantoms that he was eating, except for the ghouls and everything, all of the Phantoms that he was eating for the big amount of mana that he was getting, were all people at some point, and that they were just kind of dead now.
Yeah. Also, what was I gonna say? It was interesting he kind of like took Haruto's words to heart. Remember where it's like, hey, you know, you need to, because I know you worry about tomorrow, because that was the big thing. He was like, well, if I don't eat, like, what about my tomorrow? And then Haruto was like, well, you gotta pay attention to today, which is more important to tomorrow. You gotta predict today before tomorrow comes, or something like that.
Yeah, he basically was like, if the phantoms get to the gate, then he may not live to see today. And basically told Nitou that the gate was more important right now than he is to...
In his situation.
Yeah. But there's something to that I actually really liked. There's it's that Shunpei, who actually got a really good character part in this, pointed out that Nitou was so worried about the whole thing because he has that internal conflict now.
Yeah.
That he was scared because this is his life too. And Haruto really kind of took that to heart too. They both kind of had a bit of mutual understanding to both of their situations in this episode, and I feel like that made them closer as potential future partners in Kamen Rider-ing.
Yeah, you mean comrades, whatever.
Yeah.
Friendship, partnership. Oh, that sounds kind of awesome. But yeah, I have to agree with you on that. It was that Shunpei moment was pretty important because it definitely made Haruto kind of like, oh, you know, you're right. Like I understand like his situation, like because it's not just, you know, it's not just the guy who's going to turn into Phantom's life, but it's also Nito's life as well. And yeah, that was pretty deep. What do you think? Do you want to move on to the next section of what we're going to talk about, or do we have something other to say?
Oh yes, not really about this part. If you mean like moving on to
I'm moving on to the next.
Okay, let's talk about the next thing.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure what to. Oh, okay. This is the one thing. His beast can go into people as well to fight off like them turning into phantoms. So that was interesting. But I guess it was expected since he's a wizard mage as well.
Yes, that is something that I felt was really interesting. I think that it's pretty cool that he's also able to do that kind of thing. I was wondering if he would also use his chimera in the underworld, or if he would use it in the normal world. Like, it was something that I was kind of wondering for a long time by the time that I had actually known about the chimera being a thing.
Yeah, that I was wondering. I was like, so is he gonna get? Because you know how Haruto has the dragon that comes out when he fights in the underworld. So I was like, okay, so is his chimera gonna come out? And it did, and it came out of a rainbow ring. That was interesting.
But yes, the chimera is we actually saw it in the last episode.
We saw the full body of it.
Well, I should say we saw it 2 episodes ago, but it was a really interesting thing to me because it also proved again that the wizards have a really interesting relationship with their chosen beasts, I guess you could say. And it's like they have to work together to get this kind of thing done, but they are only working together on a really not talkative level. It's weird that the monsters inside of them, one way or another, don't just kind of talk. I was hoping that after we had heard the dragon's voice in the episode where Haruto first got Flame Dragon, that we would start hearing him if they ever went to the underworld or something. And it
not really
never happened. I was kind of disappointed in that, but I think there might be a bigger reason for it. I can't say what it would be for sure, but I feel like there is a reason for that to be a thing, that the monsters can't talk.
Yeah, so apparently you find out the dragon and the chimera are phantoms.
Oh yeah, they're definitely phantoms. That's the whole thing.
I honestly, like, I guess it was hinting to that. I was I was being dumb or something, but I was just like, oh yeah, I guess they are phantoms.
Yeah, they're totally phantoms. That's
you hit me. Oh my god. But yeah, the partnership between the dragon and the chimera, with respectively Haruto and Nitou, is kind of strange because it's a very weird relationship, because like you said, they don't really talk much, and when they do, it's kind of cryptic every time they talk. Well, from what we've seen with Nitou and the chimera, it's just like, well, now you're bonded with me, and also you gotta feed me or you're gonna die. And the dragon, when he was talking to Haruto, like, remember we talked about this in the last podcast, where it was kind of like maybe hinting at something bad, or it's kind of a cryptic thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's the thing is that because of where the chimera was made and the time where magic and science were still working together, he seems like a much more reasonable guy than the dragon. He's just kind of, I don't know, his terms are a bit more unreasonable, but he's more reasonable as a person, I guess.
Yeah. But, so that was pretty interesting about that. Do you want to talk about the ground dragon form?
Yes. The ground dragon form is a pretty neat ability. I actually like the tune that goes with ground dragon, land dragon, I should say.
Land dragon, ground dragon, same difference.
Whatever. But I like the tune for land dragon, the best out of all of them. But he seems to have gravity powers, which
That's cool.
is a very cool ability. I always love characters that have gravity powers to them. It's one of those powers that I always just kind of die for. It's great. And when he gets this power, when Haruto uses this power, I should say, he gets these big, giant dragon claws on his hands. Thing is that the claws didn't really do all that much. I mean, he used them and everything, but they didn't do much at all. All the other ones were like super flashy, but the claws just kind of weren't.
I kind of get that. That was pretty weird because well, first to talk of notice that like I think we've noticed this like earlier on when we saw water and stuff, but they're all like different parts of the dragon, like the head, the tail, the wings, and the claws.
Yeah.
And, and then they all, like you said, they all did like this head, the dragon head skull shot out fireballs, the tail whipped them, and the wings, like flew up, but then the claws, it's gravity.
Yeah.
I thought he would just like dig or like swipe him, but
nothing really happened regarding them. It was just kind of like they were claws to be claws.
Not really. Yeah, it was just gravity. He was like putting in the ground, and I mean, like, it's weird because like if you notice, like before he went into land dragon form, he did a drill move in his regular land form, but without the claws, because that was like the regular dragon form. But then he gets the actual claws, and they don't do anything.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, when we see more of it, we will see exactly what they do if you use them to swipe somebody with them, I guess. We found that there are some alternate powers that can come from the dragon forms back in the Christmas episode, but we'll have to see exactly how that goes. We'll be getting all dragon form pretty soon, so...
What did you say?
We're gonna be getting all dragon form pretty soon.
Oh my god, I heard that, and I'm not gonna say what I thought you said.
Oh boy. Anyways.
Anyways, that's just me.
There's one more thing that I would like to talk about, and it's something
Is it about
that...
the forms?
Not really about the forms yet.
Well,
we'll talk about the forms in a second.
Oh, okay. Well, go on.
The thing that I did want to talk about is the Gate himself. He was actually a pretty big part of the episode, of course, because he got to show off the thing that he had his last hope bet on. His wife, unfortunately, had a very bad illness, and I don't know if they actually brought it up in the episode. I forget, actually.
I forgot too if it was a specific thing or not.
But she was definitely dying and bedridden for a long time. The guy, the Gate, is an artist like we talked about last time.
Yeah.
But he made a painting of his wife very shortly before she died, and she asked him to have it hang up outside of the place that she was laying down. Like, the place where they always laid, I suppose. The whole story behind that was really quite sad, because he found himself unable to paint anything after she had died, and the only thing that was really keeping him going at all was the fact that the painting hung up there, and he talked to it to try and vent, I suppose, on his frustration and how much he missed her.
Yeah, that reminds me of a similar episode in Deno with the guy in the boxing, and I think his wife left him or died too or something. I don't know if you remember that in Kamen Rider Deno.
I don't remember that. I'll have to...
Yeah, you'd have to look back at it, but that reminds me of the past episode where he couldn't box anymore because like something, like his wife left him or died, or he was concentrating on it or something like that. I don't know, but it kind of reminded me of that.
That sounds like a different episode from O's, but I don't... It wasn't anything like that.
Here and there.
I don't know. I'll have to look that up again to see if I can remember that, because I don't remember that at all.
Oh, really? It was the jellyfish, imagine.
Huh.
Yeah. It was weird. But, yeah, no, that story was pretty sad. They have a lot of those, dying sick stories, too, though.
Yes, there was,
really tragic. I guess they like tragic stories, and...
Yeah, you could say that the first, kind of arc of, Deno, with with the street punk whose mother died, and the last thing that he got from her was a Christmas present of this keychain. That kind of thing pops up in Kamen Rider a whole lot. It's just kind of a running theme, I guess, because it's really sad.
Remember, kids, if any of your family members die, a horrible monster is gonna come and fuck your life even more.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Don't have dead family.
Don't care about family. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah. Don't get hurt ever. It's not good for you.
It's not good for you. Okay, so talking back to the dragon forms, what is your favorite? Well, they all look the same because they're a different color, but finisher-wise.
Yeah, favorite power-wise and everything. I honestly like, I think I like Blizzard the most. I like Water Dragon. It's just I always love water themed and ice themed riders and weapons and special attacks and all sorts of stuff like that. It's probably one of my favorite things, and the finisher is probably one of my favorite finishers that has happened in Wizard so far. Honestly, it's kind of weird that the other two finishers kind of outdo well,
the other three or the other two? I'm a little confused.
I should say Hurricane.
Hurricane, yeah.
Yeah, Hurricane Dragon and Water Dragon forms. Their final attacks kind of wipe the other ones way off the field of being as cool as they are. I mean, Hurricane Dragon does this huge thunderstorm whirlwind thing and just makes a huge explosion in the air, and Water Dragon parts the goddamn sea and freezes it, and then hits the guy with a fucking tail and does a sweet ass pirouette off the fucking ice and everything. It's like all that Flame Dragon has is a weird cannon chest, and all that Land Dragon has is gravity.
I love how like you talking about it and you're like, well, frickin'.
It's like there's no other way to explain it. There's just explosions everywhere happening all the time in those two specials, and the other ones are just kind of there.
I have to 100% agree with you with Water Dragon being my favorite finisher. I mean, yeah, like you said, Hurricane is really cool, but I'm mostly, when it comes to like elements, I like fire a lot, but the water one for me was just like super cool. Like you said, he parts the goddamn sea, and then I thought it was really cool when he just gets out that tail and just smacks the freaking Phantom into pieces. I thought that was pretty damn cool with the sea opening up and just finisher.
Pretty much. It's just, there's no way that it isn't the best one we've seen so far. But hopefully, with a little bit more kind of weird power experimenting, the other forms will get equally as cool, like finishers. I think he was just kind of really mad and wanted to style all over that Phantom.
He's just styling over that Phantom.
Pretty much.
Was there anything else you wanted to discuss? Because I think I have one more thing I wanted to talk about. I don't know about you.
I think I covered just about everything that I wanted to talk about in the episode.
Alright. Okay, let me talk about one more thing. Was that one new Phantom that we only see in a human form? Remember?
Ah, yes.
The one sitting in the tree? Yeah, so I'm pretty excited. I don't know if it's in our news section or not, but I think they talked about the look of him. Like, what kind of fan? He's supposed to be like a gremlin or something?
Yes, he's supposed to be the gremlin Phantom, and he has weird time-space abilities, as far as I can read. From the last thing that I read about him, at least.
Oh, so that's going to be interesting. And his name is Sora, and apparently he likes to sit in trees and eat candy, which is my kind of Phantom.
As far as we can see, there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of information with him yet, but apparently he's just a huge trickster that doesn't really follow a lot of the rules that the Phantoms have set up.
I think he is following the wise man. Maybe not. I think he is, just because like we talked about, the wise man looked like he kind of wanted the Koyomi to find the water rock, and then the guy just delivered the ground rock to her. So like, I think he's working with the wise man. My speculation, but yeah, you're right. He does his own kind of thing away from Medusa and Phoenix. So hopefully we'll get deeper into Sora, which is his name, and I would definitely like to see more of him. And so, do you want to go on to the news now? Have we covered everything? I'm not sure.
I think that we have just about covered everything that we can. But yes, let's move on to the news.
Alright, and Rad will start up with the first thing of news.
Yes, the Kamen Rider Forze movie. It has come out on, DVD, and the RAWs are out on the internet. Meaning that anytime now, some subs will come out for it. Maybe in 3 weeks or something, I don't know.
Overtime is gonna be on that shit. They're the fastest, for sure.
Pretty much.
And the TV phone likes to put pretty fonts on.
It still takes TV. I shouldn't say TV Nihon. I should say that it still takes some time to put out subs for a movie, which is understandable.
Yeah, it's a lot of translating to do, an hour movie. So.
But yes, that's pretty much it. There's the subs are out, and I'm really excited to see this movie. Something interesting about the movie, because I did watch a bit of the RAWs, is that unlike a lot of the other movies where the new season writer cameo happens, Wizard shows up halfway through the movie. Usually it happens at the very end of the movie, but I guess it makes sense seeing as they stay in space through most of it, and you couldn't really get up there.
Okay, that definitely makes a lot of sense.
But it's that's pretty much it. Expect some subs for the movie pretty soon.
And then after when that's all subbed, we have to wait for the Ultimatum movie.
Yes, actually I have some information about that. The DVD is supposed to come out May the 21st. Last time I checked, at least. Apparently so we only have to wait 3 months for the next movie to come out on DVD. So that's pretty good. We had to wait much longer for the Forze movie to come out.
Yeah, so movie news is looking good for us, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Alright. So let's see, next news is Kamen Rider Beast upgrade and the White Wizard rings previewed. So apparently, a few days ago, there was a rumor, unconfirmed stuff, that the White Wizard he's gonna get new rings or something, or gonna show the White Wizard's rings.
Yeah, he's basically gonna be turning a full-time character, as far as we can tell.
So possibly third rider. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll see. And Beast is getting upgrade because they're showing his silhouettes and stuff, so that's exciting. So the White Wizard rings are Driver On, Explosion, Change, Cerebus or Carabos, and Teleport. And then it's not pictured in the thing, but they're also having the Garuda that he had, the white one, based on the older episodes and stuff like that.
Now this is.
Sorry, you want me to go?
No, keep on going. Sorry.
Okay. And then someone hacked the Beast driver and revealed the sound Hyper, so that possible Hyper mode is a possible name for the Beast upgrade, but we're not sure.
Well, actually, we're kind of sure at this point.
Really?
It's pretty much all but confirmed that it's Hyper Beast.
Hyper Beast? Okay. That's exciting.
But it's pretty, White Wizard's rings are just the tiniest bit, sinister. I don't know why, but they just kind of are. Explosion, for example, seems like a not so safe thing to use. And it doesn't seem like a kind of weapon that a good guy would have.
Also, as you were saying about being kind of sinister, you know how when you go into a person, it's called the underworld, right? Or something?
Yes.
Like that person's underworld? Okay, so he has a Cerebus. I'm really bad at saying that word. Like Cerebus, Carabos, whatever.
Yeah.
Ring. And the legend of that is, remember, it's the guardian of the underworld?
Oh, well, damn.
So that might... So we were talking about Sinister, so maybe that could be seen as good or bad, but it's a guardian of the underworld, so...
Shit, so I didn't even think about that.
I thought about that.
The only other thing that, seems kind of weird is that he has a teleporting ring, which means that he may be able to just teleport wherever he wants. The ring designs for these two are kind of weird. They seem to have like a dark blue kind of navy color to them. And the explosion ring, if that's what I think it is, seems to be kind of like just his eyes. Like, his eyes kind of in a, the eye pattern that the metal makes.
Is it the blue ring you're talking about?
Yes, the bottom blue ring.
That's the explosion ring. I can confirm that is the explosion ring, because I'm reading the text right now.
And the teleport ring seems to be like a stick man going through these circles, which may, like, imply that it's going through a portal to another place. Which is a kind of cool effect, I'd say.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, when I had to full view that picture, because in the thumbnail I thought instead of a stick man it was like an arrow pointing into like a circle, like a bunch of circles, and I was like, I don't understand. And then I had to full view it and I was like, oh, never mind, so I see the stick person now.
But it's also kind of weird because the White Wizard doesn't seem to have a theme with his rings. When it comes to Haruto, all of his rings are based around a dragon. All of the rings have like a dragon in some kind of shape or design or something. But all of these don't seem to really have any theme to them.
And Beast obviously is like, you know, lion and chimera, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is definitely strange. So we're gonna have to definitely see when it comes out in episodes what the deal is with. So, wanna go on to the next news?
Yes. The main villains of the Kamen Rider and Gavin and Super Sentai crossover movie Superhero Taisen Z is goddamn Space Shocker. It's always Shocker in some kind of way. It's goddamn Shocker yet again, but this time it's from space and they have magic.
Wow. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big fan of the Super Sentai Kamen Rider crossovers. I've heard stuff about Tyson, the first one, and I was just like, I mean,
I haven't heard any. I've watched the movie myself, and it's not that great. It could be way better. It has a lot of plot holes in it, but hopefully, they'll learn from their mistake, because it was a pretty not well-received movie, and they'll make this one better. Hopefully the inclusion of Gavin will just kind of be the thing that they need.
The thing that's weird is when they were talking about this movie, they said like Wizard was gonna fight Gavin wanted to fight Wizard, and I was just like, why not Forze?
I don't know. It's it seems that the whole problem with the movie seems to be that the original Gavin is having a lot of problems with all the other characters. Like, he's being blamed for something, and Gavin G-Type, or Type G, I should say, the new one that's getting a movie pretty soon, he is saying that I cannot forgive Gavin. And that's the big main point of the movie, is that apparently Gavin did something really bad, but it's probably just Space Shocker being dicks.
It's probably Space Shocker being dicks. Yeah, I honestly, I will still watch I still need to watch the first Tyson movie, and I'll probably watch this one, but I'm not very looking forward to it. I think Space Shocker is just like, it's like one of those things where, you know, like, people joke about, like, oh, next thing the sequel's gonna be in space, or space Nazis or something, you know?
They're basically space Nazis.
That's what that's what it feels like to me. It's just like, Space Shocker, ooh, and I'm just like, oh my god, they're gonna put out this gimmick.
Well, Shocker's been, like, several different things. The Neo Shocker, Die Shocker, all sorts of fucking kinds of Shockers.
So it's Shocker in space.
Why not Shocker in space?
Shocker 2, Electric Boogaloo in space.
But yes, that seems to be the main, thing with the movie, is that Gavin fucked up, but it's probably just Space Shocker.
It's probably Space Shocker and some bullshit, whatever.
Yeah. But on to the next bit of news.
Alright, so, this is news for Akiba Ranger Season 2. The filming has been spotted, and, I think, I'm not very, still have not finished it, I've been busy, but, is Zekun Aoi? Yeah, Aoi. Isn't she, like, one of the characters? Like, the girl?
Kinda. See, what happens is that, Aoi is like an anime inside the show.
Yeah. I understand that. And then that's the one of the transforming things, like it's the girl, and then it's how they henshin.
Yes.
Yeah, so apparently there's gonna be a new one, or a new design, what they showed. So
several new designs from what it looks like.
A lot of new designs. So when they were filming, apparently what the reports are, Masato Wada, who is Akiba Red, and Karen Ogino is Akiba Yellow. They were present in the filming, but the girl who plays the Blue, Akiba Blue, was not present in the filming. And there's supposed rumors that she was replaced by a new character / new actress. And the new scene above was them about to transform. So sad news if people liked Akiba Blue. She may not return. Maybe, hopefully, it's not true, but you know, it might be.
I really hope that it's not true. Akiba Blue was a really good character. Oh.
I know, she was definitely like one of my favorites when I was watching it. She was funny. I thought she was really cute too, and it always sucks when you have the original cast and then one of them doesn't show up and they have to replace it. So that's gonna be a bummer. And let's see, I think that's it for that. Wait, there might be a little more. Oh yeah, so Zekun Aoi is she will feature. There's a new version, like you said. It's gonna be future, and I think that it's gonna have like a show within a show type of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was. Like they even have like a manga going. Well, they had a manga going for it. While Akiba Ranger was going on. It's basically just a kind of big parody of anime inside of the show, which is a parody of Tokusatsu. It's a little bit complicated.
Yeah, I think because the whole joke is they're Akiba Ranger, and I think like the whole thing is Akihabara is a district in Japan where all the otakus visit. And I think everyone knows about that though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so that's news for Akiba Ranger, and I think we can go on to the next news.
Well, yes, but the thing about the next news is that it's actually all rumors and whatnot.
Okay.
This is the rumor section, so take it all with a grain of salt because it may not actually be all that true. But it's interesting in the meantime. See what is being brought to light with all these rumors, at least for the first one, is that the Kamen Rider Wizard toy listings for Wizard Infinity, which is supposed to be his mid-season, like, super upgrade, and Beast Hyper, or Hyper Beast, whatever you want to call it, their weapons got, previewed in some magazine, or toy listing or something. And Hyper Beast's weapon is called Kamen Juju, which is supposed to be Reflective Beast Gun or something. Mirage Magnum, meaning that he's getting some really big illusionary gun thing. It sounds really weird and not actually, you know, beast-like at all, so I'm a little bit, like, calling it into question, but we'll have to see. Wizard Infinity, on the other hand, is getting, Kaki Ono Ken, Shining Axe Sword, Excalibur. I mean, that's a big, dumb axe sword combo thing. Which is actually pretty cool, and I hope that it does happen, but, it is a little bit questionable.
Yeah, because when you think of Excalibur, you think of the sword, and it's an axe sword, so that could be either really kind of stupid looking or really cool, but we're just going to have to see. And if you noticed, all of the weapons kind of maybe have to do with weapons of mythology, like the Excalibur is obviously the Excalibur.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about the reflective beast gun, but maybe this is shooting far away, but the only thing I could think of with reflecting is like, you know, that Medusa shield, where like the guy had the shield or whatever, and then yeah, that's what it reminds me of. But I could be shooting far. But that's what I think of when I think of mythology and reflecting. But
man, do you think they'll have to like take down Medusa with that? That
actually sounds really cool, and that makes sense because there is a Medusa, and she's one of the main kaijin. So
yeah.
Possibly?
We'll have to see.
But take out your thinking caps.
Besides that, they are also releasing the DX White Wizard driver in May. So, look out for that, because that's actually pretty cool. And it also kind of points again to White Wizard becoming a more quintessential part of the show.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. We'll just have to see. Do you want to move to the next set of news?
Yes.
All
this
right,
is also still a rumor.
Rumor, whatever. So, okay, so these are more for rumors, and it has to do with the Kyoruger, and it is saying that, now you gotta take this with a grain of salt, like, you know, Rad mentioned in the beginning, but, so there might be a 6th member of the Kyoruger people, and it's Kyoru Gold.
Yeah.
And the device is called the Gaburi Changer, and the personal member is the Xander Thunder. And you'll have the his version of the Mobuckle things, and it's called the Zuden Mobuckle Kyoru Gold version.
Jeez, what a mouthful.
I know, and I can say that fluently somehow, and it's all due in May 2013. His mecha is the 16 Zudenru, which is the... Whoa, I do not know how to say that. It's the... I think the T is... The P is silent when you say Terra, right? Like,
yeah.
Pterodactyl. Okay, so it's the Terra Godon, and that will transform into the... like, Pteridin-O, whoa, which is supposedly, like, electric transformation or something, so he has to do with electricity or something.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and, in addition to the Zudenryu, whatever, that's gonna debut in June, there's other things. I do not know what these are, so if any of you, they're all, like, weird Japanese names. There's the Zudenshi number 8, Button Patchy, I have no idea what these are, by the way. The Fang Shot set and the Shield Drawn Slasher set will all be released in April as well. Wow, everyone can just like laugh at my really bad pronunciations of those.
It's fine. I did some really bad pronunciations for the
Honestly,
wizard thing.
if this was all in hiragana or katakana, I couldn't pronounce these easy, but everything is way trickier when everything is in romanji to me. Like, yeah, it's definitely, if I had this in romanji, I mean, katakana, hiragana in front of me, I can read that perfectly, but freaking romanji, no way, it's all butchered.
Well,
yeah, so,
I understand. But
Kyoruger fans, another 6 gold. I mean, I guess they always pull out like a silver or a gold member later on, right? I think in Sentai.
It's mostly silver and gold, sometimes black, sometimes... I don't know, it kind of depends, but mostly silver and gold. That seems to be the kind of theme right now for the past few years.
Okay, so that, yeah, because the J stack was gold, I think, or silver.
Well, they were both.
Gold and silver? Okay. And then there was Shinken gold, and then there was
Gokai silver.
Gokai silver, yeah.
And then there were the Gohan wings that were both gold and silver on just different sides, I guess. I don't know. They did a lot of...
Silver.
Yeah. That's just kind of a thing, I guess. But I think that covers just about all of the news.
Alright. And rumors.
And rumors.
And rumors. Grain of salt. Remember, guys, grain of salt.
But that isn't actually the end of the show yet, because we have one more thing to talk about. And
Extra
Huh?
Extra news.
Yes, extra news, but it's more news regarding us, kind of. See, what we're gonna be doing for the month of February until Valentine's Day is doing a poll, and it will be up sometime next week. We'll be doing a poll about the most popular ships in the Kamen Rider fandom. Now, remember, this is not actually about which ship is better and which one is, like, the most, like, canon of all of them. That's not actually what we're going for. We're looking for which is the most popular one throughout the fandom. Now, one of the main rules of the whole thing is that you can vote 3 times, and that's it. But there will be 3 main winners. The first one will definitely be the most popular one, of course, but they will have the 2 runner-up most popular ships in the fandom. Now, there's not actually any prizes for this. It's just mostly to find out which one is the best when it comes to their popularity in the fandom, of course. But it's mostly just for fun.
Spirit of Valentine's Day.
Spirit of Valentine's
Day. Also, yeah, we just this is only for popular votes. So if you have a secret crack ship that you like, go ahead, vote for it, whatever.
Yeah.
But because this is just all fun and games. Let's not pull hair out of each other because we don't like someone's ship and blah blah blah. I mean, there's ships I don't like, but I'm not gonna be like, no, you can't enter that or something. So post whatever you like, and this is only for fun and games and popularity, whatever.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, whatever.
Valentine's Day.
Love, something.
Love is in the air, and so is, I don't know, so is Kanjin. I don't know. Anyway.
If you really want, you can post which Kamen Rider is gonna be forever alone. I'm just kidding.
But there is one more bit to it that we will be talking about every week. What is that gonna be, though?
Oh, yeah, and wait, are we talking about the second part of Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, we are going to, not only that for, obviously for the shippers, because there's a lot of them in the fandom, I guess. We're going to also talk about actual canon pairings in Kamen Rider, like the actual, like, not speculation, because we don't want to, like, make anyone angry or, like, whatever, but, like, actual established pairings in the show, like, for example, Sakura Yuto and Airi.
Yeah.
and Deno. And these are just examples. There are probably maybe like a very few others. And Akiko and Ryu, Teru from Kamen Rider Double, like stuff like that.
Indeed.
And what did you want to say about the other one that was like not this? It was like very blatant. What were you gonna say?
We were going to talk about Ryusei and also Tomoko, yeah. And their relationship and how it kind of it isn't completely they're together or anything, but they got hinted at a whole lot. And, they definitely have a thing for each other. So, we're going to be talking about that, too. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about that on the episode that happens before Valentine's Day.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, I'll get it. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, like, speculation. I mean, I know people who like to ship Show and Philip, but that's still speculation. They could be really good friends or whatever, or like whatever. It's pretty much up to interpretation. And like same with like Mari and Takumi from Faiz. Like that's all really interpretation of how you want to put it. But like Tomoko and Ryusei is like kind of blatant that she likes him, and there's whatever. So
pretty much. But we'll get to all that talk when we get to it.
Yes. So next week, look for that. So I think is that all of the Valentine's Day and stuff like that. There's also Gamel and Mazul. Like, that's more exciting.
That's more of we'll talk about. We'll talk about it.
Just catch our Valentine's Day podcast. We'll all talk about that and love and blah blah blah.
Yeah. But that pretty much does it for this episode. And
what's up?
Yeah, pretty much. First we'll talk about plugs, and then we will end the episode.
Alright.
As you guys probably know from listening to the last episode, if you did, I have a Tumblr. I'm radicalapologist@tumblr.com. You can find it on the side of our main podcast Tumblr, and every week on Fridays and Saturdays I do streams. On Fridays I do streams of normal, just any old shows that I feel like watching all the way through at the time. I do votes for them and everything. And on Saturdays I do Kamen Rider streams. Right now we're watching the latest episodes of Kamen Rider Wizard and Kamen Rider Kuga.
I missed the last one, so
well, you gotta catch up before tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll try.
But yeah, that's pretty much me.
As for my end, I just have a Tumblr, so I don't want to die. It's in the description, yada yada yada. You can't spell it right. Also, I'm severely lacking on Kamen Rider blogs to follow, I think. I'm not posting enough Kamen Rider, I think. So, if anyone posts a lot of Kamen Rider or whatever, why don't you send me a message and I'll go follow you if I haven't already. Because I do like Kamen Rider things and whatever. Or, similar, just whatever. Drop in a ask or whatever and I will go follow you.
You can pretty much do the same for me, because I don't follow enough Kamen Rider blogs as it is either.
He's a loser, whatever. Just for him, it's just me.
Oh, okay. I see how it is.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, go ahead, do the same with Zach too, even though he's not as cool as me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He's the host. He could kick me off anytime he wants.
You're fired.
Oh, okay. On next week's podcast, we find a new co-host.
Yeah.
Alright, so, once again, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. And see you next week.